evening? Did I miss something?
You missed the budget.
Oh, I missed the budget amendment. Goodness, how's that possible? Yeah, budget amendments. On the good news front, on February 28th, I'd like to announce, and perhaps it could be in the newspaper, that we're going to be having an open meeting on the 28th. It's a regular town board. Could you turn your microphone if you're flipping? Thank you. Be a town board meeting at 6:30. We will have the individuals from Clifton Gunderson here, our auditors, and we will be reviewing our audit, which was completed about a week ago, very well. And thank you, Jamie, and your staff for your diligent work in that regard. The audit will be reviewed, and we will have an open, the final, of course, audit isn't done, but the ability to do our review and any needed budget amendments will be due at this time. It's a once-a-year process. Because there's been so much controversy related to dollars spent, and perhaps $1 million or more that Angie Van Stock has misappropriated, those rumors will be set aside and the facts will come out. Our work has always been exemplary here. The clerk's office work has been exemplary, as has our audit team, and there's no reason to have any concerns. And I invite you to bring your questions. I invite you to bring your neighbors and anybody else who has any concerns at all about the financial work here at the town of Waukesha, or how money is being spent, or how we were reporting it, anything at all. If there are concerns, I certainly understand why the constituency may have concerns with some of the representations that have been made. We're literally an open book here at the town of Waukesha, and of course you're always welcome to call us and ask any questions, and we'll provide information. But this will be a forum that everybody can ask questions, and it may allow other questions to come up as you hear questions from others and answers from both our audit team, our supervisors, our clerk staff, and of course myself. We will all be available. There's no scripting, so bring any and all questions that you may have, and we will endeavor to answer them for you. And we will have the team here to provide those answers. We also plan to do our budget amendment review and our budget amendment resolution that evening, as is appropriate. So, any questions from our group on that particular issue? Any particular requests for the structure of that evening, other than how I've described it? Okay, that was announcement. Referrals and concerns? Any referrals and concerns? I have some, but I'll hold them for another evening. I think we've been here long enough this evening. I don't see a total on this page, Jane. Is there a second? Oh, great. Not you see, you said your paper something. That's good. Molly did, okay. So we have the accounts payable authorization of the payment of the bills, and it's in the amount of $218,031.78.
Motion.
The motion to approve, is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Discussion.
Discussion. You have made the statement numerous times on the floor that when the board approves paying the bills, they're making a budget amendment.
No, Mr. German, I've said that when the board approves the bills, they're authorizing the payment of those bills.
A budget amendment.
Mr. German, the discussion was many times grouped between budget amendments and authorizations. This is an authorization, okay? Statements have been made that payments have been made that were not authorized. When we go through this process, you're authorizing the payments of the bills. You're not creating a budget amendment. It can't be done, isn't done, haven't said it. If there was a misunderstanding, let me clear it up. It's not a budget amendment, but you are authorizing the payment of the bills. And if indeed you are authorizing, accounting fees above, then you are authorizing those fees. So I'm not sure where the discrepancy still lies. Is that your comment this evening?
Your statement was when the board approves paying the bills, they're making a budget amendment. I have these numbers and figures in front of me here, and I have no idea on anything in the budget book.
Why would that be, Mr.? Could you, Jamie, would you go ahead? Can you go to the package back there, please, with the bills? This is where we're gonna settle this right now. I mean, Mr. German, I guess, point counterpoint, every time you make a representation that's not true, I'm gonna stop the proceedings and we're gonna show the audience that your representation is not true. It's enough now.
I have the recordings in the minutes of meetings where you make that statement. It is true.
I'd like to make an open records request for those, Everett. I mean, the other one I got from September 29th, I wrote it down,
You
but.
get it in writing and get it to me, Joe.
Well, the other one's in writing,
It is?
September 29th, it's
Really?
in your email.
Okay, Joe.
Okay, we have exactly,
So you want two now, Joe?
you guys can deal with that a little bit. Okay, these are unpaid bill details, January 29th, February 5th, February 12th. Mr. German, have you been in to look at any of these bills?
No, I have not.
You have not made time to come in to check any of the bills for the last 3 weeks.
No, I have not.
Is there a reason that you haven't come in to review the bills?
What reason would you like?
A truthful one.
The clerk is supposed to pay the bills. If the money's in the budget, the clerk is supposed to pay the bills per the chair. Board action. That's our ordinance.
Our ordinance is what?
The clerk is responsible for paying the bills if the money's in the budget.
So,
If the budget is short, the clerk is supposed to contact or notify the board to have a budget amendment.
so the clerk is spending all the money without review?
Since when?
Really? Is that your?
Clarify what you just said. The
No,
clerk
I
is
think you
spending
need to-
all the money without review.
Right,
Review
I mean,
what?
you're indicating that you don't plan to review any more bills, that the clerk simply needs to do it, and then what?
Correct.
Oh,
I will not authorize payment of any more bills.
oh. Well, luckily, I think there's other of us here who are gonna continue to look at
Okay.
each and every bill, which is our job,
Okay.
which we will continue to do. So, what question do you have? Any more questions related to the bills? Because if you're not going to look at the bills, then you wouldn't see that there is a document in here that's listed as profit and loss, budget versus actual. That is in each of these packets, which indicates where it is on the budget,
And when did that get put into the bills?
as of the first of the year.
As of the first.
Yeah,
of the-
and I guess, you know, you haven't been here to see it. So, come on, Mr. German, okay?
I have
Please.
been here.
Point,
Mr. Laska?
it's 11:02 p.m.
Yep.
Apparently, smut politic on German's behalf still can happen. May we end this meeting?
Well, not quite. I'm still in discussion. We have a bill in here for $3,571.42. And Mr. German, I think you're planning on taking care of for us, correct?
A bill for what?
A bill for the creation of the 16,000 emails from our IT staff. I'm sorry, 6,000 emails, 16,000 pieces of paper.
You have one in here to myself.
No, Mr. German, this is what the town has actually had to spend, $3,571.42 for our IT staff to go through the volume of emails that's created here to try to call out your open records request. And because of the volume that you requested, it could not be done in any other form other than to be printed. There was no way of doing it. And you, Mr. German, have indicated that you didn't trust any of us to take care of this. In fact, you told Sarah Pryor in a previous open records request that you couldn't go through redaction at the town attorney and delivered them to her directly without redaction because you didn't trust me, you didn't trust the clerk, and you didn't trust the law firm. So this
And
time,
you're a great manipulator of words.
this time, we have made sure that there is no question as to the handling of these documents. They have been secure at every moment, waiting for you here for 2 months. But because of the volume and the amount of time it takes, excuse me, it wasn't 2 months, 3 weeks, $3,571.42. I believe you told the reporter that you would be taking care of that. And I believe you told another reporter that any redaction fees would be paid for by you up to $30,000.
No.
You didn't say that in the...
In the beginning, I said when Joe brought it up, I would pay for the redaction. I am not responsible for the redaction via Supreme Court ruling. The discussion was turn it over to the attorney and to the insurance company.
The insurance company is
The
not gonna
copying
pay for your
fees,
redaction.
I agreed to pay up to $300 for copying fees, no more, no less.
Town board doesn't support, let's see, this is labeled, this is a Freeman article, town board doesn't support bypass plan. December 6th, by Ms. Fryer. German said Wednesday, we had a meeting the night before, he'd pay up to $300 for the printing of the emails, and that he's willing to pay up to the estimated $30,000 in legal fees it would take for the De La Mora firm to review the emails. I don't want this to cost the town anything, he
Correct.
said. So, Mr. German, I guess now we have our very first bill. It's for $3,571.42, and I'm asking you if you are honoring your commitment.
My commitment was not to pay for the copying of those emails.
This is not copying, this is creation of those emails. You have yet
That was not a discussion.
You have yet to need to pay because you have now asked for copies of each of those emails. So if you go down that route, you'll need to pay. Since you're coming here next week, you don't have to pay for those copies. But this is the creation of those copies for you in paper form, culling them out of our system and preparing them. And by the way,
Angie.
all of my emails were there because they reside on our server here, which is not the same in your situation. So $3,571.42. Before we pay these bills, I'd like to know if you are refunding this money to the town as you've indicated in a public meeting here in this very room.
I did not indicate I would pay that.
So there is going to be cost to the town for your requests. Okay?
Because of the amount of emails that you have generated.
I have not generated those, Mr. German. In fact, the majority of those emails are incoming emails, which you will see. Okay? But that's for your review. But that's fine. On the record, you are not going to pay that fee.
I am not paying the fee for creating the copies. I would pay the fee for the copies I take.
Is that the $300?
No, it was agreed up to $300.
Up to $300.
Now it's up to $4,000.
Well, no, you're going to be here. So, but in either case, we're establishing this as a cost to the town. That's fine. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Okay.
Mr. German, we didn't hear your vote.
Was there a motion to pay the bills? Was that seconded and
I
voted?
thought it was, but let's
It was
double
not.
check.
It was first by Supervisor Laska and seconded by Supervisor Bansky to bring it to a discussion.
Okay, so we discussed, and we did a vote.
Present.
Okay, let's, roll call, please.
Chairman Van Suck,
Yes.
Supervisor Bansky,
Yes.
Supervisor German.
Roll call vote on the bills?
Yes.
Present.
Supervisor Laska.
Yes.
All right, need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Thanks.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everybody.
Attorney, Bob, may I have a word from you?
Sure, do you want to call me? Do you want me to call you?
That's the commission.